Hello, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. Today for you, I have some dupes, and I have really been prioritizing my hair care dupes because if you do remember when I did my 2019 roundup, predominantly all the products were salon hair care, so I really did want to find some staple equivalent pieces from the drugstore that were like the same, because when I dupe things, I do want them to be as close to the luxury product as possible. And then I also have some really great makeup products for the summertime. So let's get started off with the hair stuff because I'm the most excited about it. So first thing being the Redken 1 United spray. I've spoken about this for many years. I use it as a detangler, but also as a style refresher. I found this duped by the Tresemme Pro Pure Leave-In Conditioner. Now, I use this just as much, if not more than the Redken 1 United at this point. So what this is really great for is, A, when you get out of the shower, your hair's a little bit tangly and you need something to help detangle before you brush or comb your hair. And B, it's really great for when you have any type of kink or bend in your hair that you wanna go in and kind of dampen the hair, refresh the style a bit. Absolutely amazing for that. You don't feel any like filmy, residue, gunky, goo, residual feelings of product. The only thing you'll feel is your hair will be softer, shinier, and just all around feel a lot better. So although the ingredient benefits might not be as great as the Redken 1 United, the feeling is the same. So, dupes. Next up we have the Oribe Dry Conditioner. Been a favorite for many years. It's a product that I use weekly. Really love it. Duped by a very exciting new product, the Pantene Misbehaving Dry Conditioning Mist. This is incredible. So the way I use dry conditioner is just the same way I use dry shampoo. Oftentimes when you use dry shampoo, your hair does definitely feel dried, and it feels almost kind of gritty. You kind of feel like you have this like residual dust in your hair a bit. This goes back in there, smooths it, and basically gives you the feeling of having washed and conditioned with your wet products in the shower. It's also really great if you just want it to use as a like finishing step on your hair, just to like bring back a little bit of softness. So overall, what these are really great for is if your hair is just feeling a little bit dried out, especially on the ends or something, really nice to just use a little bit of a dry conditioner and give your hair just like a little bit more softness. But it's pretty versatile in the sense that you can use it any way you want. But I really like using it just in between washes because I do find that by using dry conditioner, I can prolong the amount of time I have to go in between like traditional shampoo and conditioning washes. Another favorite for many years, the DP Hue Gloss Plus. I'm using the shade Dark Brown right now, and as you can see, even though I've had it for several months, I've barely knocked an inch into the amount of product I've used of this. That's because this is super concentrated, so I often dilute it with conditioner. Otherwise, this can make my hair look black if I'm not careful with it. So one of the things that I really like about its dupe, the John Frieda Luminous Color Glaze, is that this is much more user-friendly. I can just use this straight up and I know it's always gonna turn out really nice. Now, what I really like about that, aside from being able to just use it without having to dilute it, is that this one it's got something a little bit more special to it. I know that when you're applying it in the shower, you will see some pearl, but I know that doesn't last on the hair, but something about this just gives the hair a little bit more of that luminous shine. And what this is great for is even if you don't color your hair, or if you do color your hair, it's a great way to just give the color a little bit of revival. But even on an uncolored hair type, it just gives your hair a little bit more pop, a little bit more punch. It just makes that color look very revived and just like healthy, and just makes your eyes sparkle a little bit more too, because the hair color just gets this like freshness to it. Now these are semi-permanent, but what it's really great for is, again, prolonging the amount of time you get to go in between having to recolor your hair, thus less damage. So John Frieda Luminous Color Glaze, I think gonna actually be a little bit more well-liked because it's a little bit less stressful to use than something that's super concentrated. So dupes. All right, this one is so good. It's the Way, oh my God. I don't know what I was gonna say. Way Hair Care, but it's the Way Hair and Shine Body Mist. incredible, gives you that glass reflective wet shine on your hair, aka just makes your hair look super shiny and super healthy, like out of this world shiny. I found it duped by the Tresemme Smooth Dry Oil Finishing Spray. Now, the benefit that these have over like a traditional oil that you would put in your hair is that these are sprays, so they're oftentimes, well, these two specifically, I guess I should say, are way more lightweight. They're not gonna disrupt a style, they're not gonna weigh your hair down, and they're just gonna give you that like reflective, old Hollywood shine in your hair. They're incredible. Now, one of the advantages that the Tresemme one actually has over the Ouai product is the Ouai product is insanely heavily fragranced, so much so to where if I have a migraine, I can't use this because it just really affects my day. And then also, when I use this, I don't wear perfume. Like it's like putting perfume on. So if you are sensitive to fragrance, the smooth one from Tresemme is probably the better. I want to talk about the makeup dupes, starting off with the primer. The Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Hydrating Primer, which is duped by a product that is identical, the Almay Perfecting Skin Base. I feel like it's the same product in a different tube. They even both have this like light baby pink color to the formulation, but the thing that I really like about both of these is that they give you a soft powder finish, but they feel really hydrating on the skin. They're also leaving you with a slightly tacky base, so your makeup grips to the base and it just lasts a lot longer. They help control oils in the T-zones. They make your foundation or whatever, you know, concealer base product that you're putting on top of them have a slightly airbrushed finish and just, you know, smooth out texture on the skin. So just all around really great primers that, you know, give you a natural looking primed canvas without sucking all the life out of your skin or making you look oily. So you really fall right in the middle of just like great healthy looking skin. I really feel like they're undoubtedly so similar. You can get the Almay one and save a bunch of money. Next dupe. This is a discontinued product that I don't understand why it's being discontinued because I love it so much. The Laura Mercier Radiance Bronze Primer. I've used this for years and still haven't made a significant dent in the product. I just think that it's so beautiful. I love the shade of it and I like how it's a really soft strobe. It is duped pretty similarly. Like the closest thing I've been able to find has been the Body Lava from Revlon. It's part of their collab with Ashley Graham. And what I really like about both of these is that not only do they give you that really nice luminous quality to the skin, they also have that bronze tint to them. So they give you a little bit more life, and even if you didn't put like foundation on top, your skin just looks a little bit more awake, like you've been kissed by the sun. You just look a little bit more lively and healthy, and the strobe is nothing overpowering, so it's not gonna make you look like a tin man. It's just a nice light strobe that you can wear on its own, but you can also put makeup on top, and if you use like a light tinted moisturizer, it's gonna peek out from behind and look really beautiful and healthy. This is a really exciting one for me because I love this so much. The Givenchy Les Saisons bronzer. I don't even know if that's how you say it, I'm not French. But the beautiful thing about this is just look at that in the pan. It reflects so much light. It's a beautiful finishing bronzer, and it is duped by the Revlon Skin Lights. I use these identical. If you see me use these in tutorials, then you've seen how I use them. They're bronzer toppers, and they just create a very, very soft reflection on the bronzer so that it doesn't look, you know, like a sunken in or kind of chalky on the skin, just to help give it a little bit more life and a little bit more radiance so that you look healthy and your skin has some reflection to it. So beautiful, gorgeous. Obviously the Givenchy one is slightly warmer, but the Revlon one is available in another shade as well, which I think is gonna be perhaps a little bit more close in tone to this one. But the effect of the bronzer, even in this shade, is identical to the Givenchy one, and obviously the Givenchy one is so much more expensive. So if you're looking for a great airbrushing bronzer to just give your skin a little bit more light reflection on top of the bronzer that you're wearing, this is a good pick. All right, you probably knew this was coming if you've been watching me for the past few months, but I really wanted to test it out for several months before I said it was a dupe. The Neutrogena Radiant Cream Concealer. Obviously, you guys know what it's a dupe for. The NARS Radiant Cream Concealer. I still don't think it's identical, but it is absolutely, without a doubt, the closest match to the NARS concealer that I have found. This one I almost feel like is a little bit more sheer, so it blends out a little bit with less coverage than the NARS one. The NARS one has so much pigment and so much coverage. A little bit goes a really long way, and don't get me wrong, a little bit goes a long way with this one as well, but I still don't feel like the coverage is identical to the NARS one, but in terms of the way it reflects back light, gives you that really creamy, radiant looking skin, it's a dupe. Really love this for under eyes and liquid highlighting. Wouldn't particularly recommend it for concealing a blemish because, like I said, it does have that radiant cream finish, so anything that you put it on, it is going to bring quite a bit of light to. It's not, you know, strobing and luminous, but just the way it finishes is a little bit slightly more on the dewy side. Great longevity, even if you don't set it with powder, but during these hotter months, would definitely recommend setting it with some powder. Another concealer dupe worth mentioning to you because it is hot right now, hot and sweaty, and you want some products that are gonna last a lot longer. The MAC 24 Hour Concealer is duped by the Maybelline Superstay. They both set down matte. They are both lightweight. They don't feel heavy. They don't feel drying, especially even if you use them under the eyes or around the mouth and nose where concealer would typically start to flake off. I don't have that problem with either of these. And they both have this really unique thing to their formulation where they have some flex to them. So a lot of times these like long wear matte concealers, they tend to almost crumble, migrate, and like pill up and flake on areas where you tend to emote your face a little bit more. I have never had that issue with either of these. And the thing that I really think is unique about the Maybelline one is it sets down to the same finish as the MAC 24 Hour one. The unique thing about stuff like this, when it's a long wear product, you really want it to have that like latex glove ability to really flex and move with your skin because you don't want it, you know, just like coming off in little crumbles. I've never had that issue with either of them, and they are so ideal to be using during the hot months. Last dupe I have for you is the beautiful Tom Ford Terra bronzer, which is this gorgeous light terracotta undertoned bronzer. So for me personally, really pretty for putting closer in the center of the face and just adding that little bit of like punchiness to my skin tone, make it wake up a little bit more. Absolutely gorgeous, silky, you know, just gorgeous, creamy powder texture, absolutely beautiful. It is duped by the Milani Silky Matte Bronzer. Now, I actually think that the Milani one might even have the Tom Ford one on its like silky slippiness to it, but in terms of the shade, you can see them swatched side by side. They look identical. The Tom Ford one is slightly more terracotta, so it's got a little bit more red to it, but overall, they look identical. And I will say, like, I do have to be honest and give it to Milani. This one has a much more emollient, buttery feeling formulation to the powder itself. So really incredible dupe in my opinion. If you have been eyeing the Tom Ford one because you've seen me use it in videos, but don't want to splurge the money on it, the Milani one, it's great. All right, so those are my dupes. I really hope that you found this helpful. If you do have any questions, please feel free to hit me up in the comments down below. I will always do my best to help you. Leave a comment down below just to talk. You know I love that. I love talking to you. And other than that, if you didn't subscribe, I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe now. Come follow me on Instagram. But other than that, I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching this one, and everything will be listed and linked in the description box down below as well. All right, bye.